I got a brand new membership.
Hey, this is Jim Edwards. Welcome to a Mr. X Files. Too outrageous to actually be true. And we have with us Mr. X. So, Mr. X, what exactly do you sell?
I sell how-to information on the internet to people in the make money business opportunity markets. I tell them they can use what I teach in any market, and that is true.
And does what you sell actually work?
Yeah, well, I mean, it works. It works. It works if you work it.
All right, well, there's nothing outrageous about that. Is what you're selling now how you do things now, or is it old stuff like a lot of gurus do?
Well, not really. I do a lot of things, and then I teach people how to do them, but then I move on to other stuff. When I find tactics that really work, I like to use them because they're cool, and then I start sharing them with people.
Well, again, that's still not too outrageous, so I guess I'm a little confused. Why are we doing this confession today? I mean, if you're selling stuff that works, and you're learning new stuff, what's the big deal?
I don't know, you called me.
Okay, well, there's no reason to become a smartass here, but let me ask you this. How are you able to sell so much? Because when other mere mortals launch products, and you've been involved in launching a lot of products, obviously, how are you able to sell so much compared to other people?
Well, there are a number of things we do.
Well, just sum it up for us, please. Give me an overview.
Well, I guess you could knock it down to two words, and that is psychological pressure.
What do you mean, psychological pressure?
Well, we sell things that work if you work them. However, nobody wants to buy work, so we sell so many of these products because we're able to apply a lot of psychological pressure to people in order to get them to buy. It's a really simple technique. You've seen it used. We just overload people's mental circuits.
What do you mean by that?
Well, if everybody sends the same email on the same day and you get 20 emails from the same person, or you get 20 emails on behalf of somebody from affiliates, I should say, then what happens is the first 3 or 4 emails, people see them and go, well, it's not something I'm interested in. And then as each person whose list they're on sends more and more and more email, they start to think this is something they should pay attention to. Once we get that crack in their psychology, I can use my other psychological tricks, which I like to call the Tom Sawyer effect. We whip these affiliates into a feeding frenzy with the promise of crazy prizes they couldn't afford or wouldn't buy for themselves on their own. We then persuade all these affiliates to offer outrageous bonuses to go with our offer. It's like Tom Sawyer getting people to paint his fence. Here's where the psychological pressure builds up and up until people feel like, hey, maybe this is something I should do because it seems like everybody else is doing it. And then what we do is we build in a series of high-pressure deadlines where we use the removal of bonuses, threats in situations where the price is going to go up, and then we finally threaten a limited quantity and a final date. But along the way, we also build in false excuses like servers crashing, things like that allow people to slide back in under a deadline that's just passed, because I'm just saying that's the only way to be fair. What people don't understand is that within about a week of doing a launch like this, it'll die anyway. We don't want people to buy when they finally need the product. We want them to buy right now. The hype is what sells the product. So by doing this, we're able to apply a lot of psychological pressure on people from multiple sources, and it breaks down their defenses. Once their defenses are broken down or bypassed through this social pressure, they're easier to manipulate, and then just by bombarding them with the same messages from multiple sources, it uses social pressure to get them to buy.
How do you feel about that ethically? I mean, how do you feel about that as far as your own personal integrity? How do you feel about that?
I don't have a problem with it. One of my teachers once told me they're going to give their money to somebody, they might as well give it to me. And I believed it.
Well, I mean, I understand using price as a motivator, but why can't you just offer a product for sale and people were able to just buy it? What if you just offered a product and it was good, and it was a good product and people wanted it because they needed it, and the people who needed it would just buy it when they were ready?
If we did that, not enough people would buy. If we did that, we couldn't sell 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 copies. In order to sell what we sell and how we sell it, we have to apply these psychological pressures on people. We know the vast majority of them are not going to buy if we don't do it. And it's marginally useful to most people who do buy it, so we need to get them to buy as soon as possible. And we need to do it in a very short period of time. We cover our tracks with the bonuses, so they just justify a purchase they don't really need to make because of a bonus they might be able to use now. And our studies have shown again and again that they have to buy within 48 to 96 hours or they're not going to buy. And so that's why we use these tactics. We use because we also have to move the herd and our affiliate army on to the next big thing next week.
Wow. So how can people tell if they really need what you're offering or not?
All they need to do is ask themselves, do I really need this right now in my business? If the answer is no, then don't buy it. We'll either come out with a new version in a few months, or one of our friends will come out with something similar, or we'll discount the price, or we'll even give it away to try to build up a continuity list or a membership site. I don't know why people don't get mad when we give away a product we sold just a few months ago for $2,000, but they don't. So we do it anyway.
Well, Mr. X, I appreciate at least your honesty. And of course, what you've said here is entirely fictional, and it's certainly too outrageous to be true.
Thanks for having me, Jim.
I'm Jim Edwards. Have a great day.